Yo, 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 yo. What's going on, y'all? Oop, there we go. Let's refresh this, baby. There it is. Yo, 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 yo. What's going on, guys? It's your boy, Epic Smasher, and today is Motivational Monday. I'm very excited. Let's see. Boom. There it is. I'm very excited for tonight. It's going to be great. I see you guys. This is one of my favorite days. One of my favorite days is Motivational Monday. It's so good. Chantel, Texas NATO, Ghost, Tim Porter, J2FNG, Till, Texas NATO says, Happy Monday. Hey, everyone. Ow, ow. Sammy's in the chat. Texas NATO's in the chat. Megan's in the chat. Alex in the chat. Let's go. All the legends, all the bossy bosses, and more coming. More of you guys coming. Justin says, hey, what up, Justin? How you doing? There we go. I'm excited to see everybody. I'm excited to see everybody. It is so good to see you guys. Y'all ready for this? Y'all ready for Motivational Monday? If you guys are new in the chat, say you're new. If you're an OG, let people know what's happening. And if you've never been here and you have no idea what's going on, let me know. Because today is Motivational Monday. What I do on Motivational Monday is I give advice. I give motivation. I give optimism and a different way of thinking, a different perspective. You guys have the opportunity, whether you want to be anonymous and you ask questions via the Discord form, or you can ask questions in the chat. If you ask questions in the chat, you will not be anonymous. However, I will do my best to answer it. Jay Kiddo, my day is going good. My day is going good. I've been cleaning house. I've been cleaning up a lot of spider webs. I've been cleaning up my soul. A lot of things, guys. I've been working on myself. We had some updates on the viral spiral, which takes place on Friday, guys. A whole bunch of updates. I played the game just before I got on to Motivational Monday, and there's some updates that need to take place. They're going to hopefully be doing some updates because I want it to be the best game possible. So I have a lot of suggestions on how to make it better. So I really hope that they take those suggestions and they implement them. Because if they do, it's going to be an amazing experience for everybody. It truly is. And I want to put my name behind something that I truly, truly believe in. And I believe if they make those changes, it will turn out amazing. If those changes don't take place, you guys will definitely know and you will let me know. And I'll be like, yeah, I know. I suggested those. So I am really, really praying that they listen. I really hope that it turns out exactly how it should be turned out. Ooh, good call. Let's see this. Ooh. Alert. Boom. Let's put it up here. Boom. So I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be good. I think he's going to make the changes that need to be made in order for it to be a great game. Okay? Chantel smashing that like button. Here we go. Jay Kiddo says, Epic, they should add a skin of you in Fortnite. What? That would be amazing. That would be awesome. I would be really, 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 really excited for that. That'd be really, really cool. Coco says, you play these games? I played these games before, bro. Yes. I play a lot of Fortnite. Fortnite is my game. That's what I like to play. Till says, I'm going to keep the likes going. There we go, Till. Sammy says 10-10 for the game and 10-8 for the ebook. Yes, guys. The ebook is coming out on 10-8. Now, I am super, super excited for the ebook. So much knowledge. Over a decade worth of knowledge. It's going to teach you how to be the ultimate live streamer. Whether you sell a product, whether you play games, whether you just talk to people. This is going to give you the foundation. It's going to give you the confidence. And it's going to give you the skills to pay the bills, if you know what I mean. Clock, by the way. Ooh. Yes, the clock. The clock. We're running a little bit behind. Not a little bit behind, but like we're as far as the clock goes. It's okay though. We're gonna knock this out. What are you gonna be for Halloween? Ooh, that's a good one. I like to be Superman. Let's see. What would I like to be for Halloween? I was Zorro a few times. I'm a good Zorro. I think I would like to be a werewolf, says Ben. I was a werewolf one time. I was a mean, awesome werewolf. A werewolf would be good. A werewolf would be good. Okay, a werewolf would be good. I was a werewolf 1 year. It was really good. It was really good. Maybe a werewolf. Maybe a werewolf. I'm a good cowboy as well. I'm a good cowboy as well. I don't know. That's a good question. That's a good question. I haven't really thought about that. I was thinking about my kids. What about you? Yep, Jay Kiddo says, yup, for the ow, ow, yeah. There you go, Jay Kiddo. Jay Kiddo, I don't recognize the name. Did you recently do a name change? Akshay says, hi, what up, Akshay? Till says, you're already Superman because you're a Superman. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Sammy says, we're going as couple pirates. Me and you and your husband with the skeleton witch daughter and dinosaur son. Hey, that's cool. That's cool. I was Johnny Depp 1 year as Captain Sparrow. Captain Jack Sparrow, yeah. But I had long hair and I had a long beard. I got mistaken for him when I have long hair and a long beard. There's a lot of individuals I do. You dropped the king. What do you mean, Cyan? Yeah, for real. For real, I was. Taha says, hey, dude. What up, Taha? You love Captain Jack? Captain Jack's too legit to quit, y'all. All right, I am ready for the first question. Oh, Polar World. I know you, bro. Okay, JJ is Polar World. All right. I got you. Now I know. Oh, says, is that Brighton? Albin Journey? No, this is Beast Games. I was on Beast Games, Mr. Beast show on Amazon Prime called Beast Games. My number was 672. Olu? Ben says Pirates of the Caribbean was legit. Miss those films. They're so legit. So legit. One of my favorites. Seriously. Did you win the money? You gotta watch it. There'd be signs. JJ says 672. That's right. That's where they got it from, guys. I don't know. Did you get a haircut? No, but I need to get one. I need to get my hair trimmed. For shout. Be getting that for shout. Cirque says, say hello in Turkey. I don't know how to say hello in Turkey. Olu says, come on, I love spoilers. Come on, tell me. Go watch it tonight. You'll find out. Benji says, so I've looked around the house today. Okay, here's the question. No, Nada, no, stop it. No. All right, here's the first question, guys. Today is Motivational Monday. You can ask questions, and I will give you a different perspective. I'll give you some optimism. I'll give you some motivation. Today is Motivational Monday. You can ask questions in the chat, or you can fill out a form and be anonymous on our Discord. Thank you, Alu. You a bossy boss. Alu says, you look mad happy. I'm sure you did. You look mad happy. Go watch. You are going to be shocked out of your mind. It's so good. I had so many crazy, amazing moments. Once you see, you'll know. What's my Discord? Type in exclamation point Discord. Guys. Also, we have a casting call for this Friday. If you guys want to join the casting call this Friday, there's a form out there. Hopefully, Ben can get that for us. So the first question is, so I've looked around a house today. Feeling nervous about it. All we're still undeciding to go for the house, as we don't want to miss our friends in schooling, but also lack the motivation to pack and sort the house out. Any tips? Okay, let me just make sure I get this question right. So I've looked around So you're looking at houses today. I'm assuming that's what you mean. So you've looked at houses today. You're feeling nervous about it all. You're still undeciding to go for the house as you don't want to miss your friends, or schooling. But also lack the motivation to pack and sort the house out. Any tips? Yes. Yes, absolutely. This is a new chapter for you. This is an absolute new chapter for you. Sometimes we're born into environments, and that's how we learn and grow into having friendships. These friendships that you've already curated are based off of your current environment. Your friendships are going to still remain there as long as both parties continue to work on them. If you care about your friendships, you can continue to have those conversations, and distance won't break them. If you guys have different interests, let's say you move and you create different interests, and those individuals from the past friends, don't have those same interests, well then maybe you'll grow apart. However, this gives you the chance to not only have those friends, but jump into a new environment that will allow you to curate more friends. As far as schooling can mean many different things for you. Whether you're in school or your family's in school or your kids are in school, you're going to find friends there, or they will find friends there. It's about breathing and knowing that you can find a new version of you because you're moving to a new place. Sometimes when we live somewhere, people get this idea that you're always going to be this certain person. And I can promise you I'm not the same version that I was yesterday. Which, in fact, some amazing things happened yesterday, as well as I ended up saving somebody's life, but we'll get to that. This is going to give you the chance to find new friends, to cultivate a new space, to find a new you. I believe that when you move, you're going to feel lighter because you can finally, or you can be a different version of you a lot easier because you're not held down to what people view you or how people view you. This is an exciting time and a new chapter for you and your family and your friends. This is also a time for you to be able to see how your friends truly think about you or feel about you. Distance can't break a relationship if it's a true friendship or relationship. I'm excited for you. This is amazing. And how do you get, secondly, your second part of the question is, how do you get motivation to pack and sort out the house? Well, the easier thing is to find out how attached you are to some of these items. Are they significant to you? Do they have any meaning? Do you get a feeling when you have them, or do you just have them? Some people have their house filled up to the brim of things that they genuinely don't care about. This is your chance to filter through some of these belongings that you might have had for a little while, but maybe they're not sentimental to you. Pick up that shirt and find out, hey, do I actually like this shirt, or do I have this shirt just because? And if it's just because, throw it out. But if it has sentimental value or something that you got feelings, like there's feelings on the inside that say, hey, I actually really like this shirt and this is why I like it, cool, keep it. If it's a trinket that's just laying around in a drawer that you're never going to use, get rid of it. Give it to a homeless person. Give it to somebody who could really use it. Use it as a garage sale opportunity. If you have items you don't use, start using it as a garage sale. Pack those items up in the corner and be like, okay, before we move, we are going to use all of this money that we collect from this garage sale, and you could also sell on Whatnot, which is what I recommend. as well as your garage sale. While you're having that garage sale, have the whatnot up, selling items at the same time. Double the value. And take all that money that you make from it and plan a trip. Make it exciting for yourself. Be like, oh, you know what? All these items that I'm getting rid of are actually fulfilling a purpose now, even though they didn't in that junk drawer. They're fulfilling a purpose now. And how do they fulfill that purpose? Because you can plan a trip after you move in. It's a big celebration. Hey, we just moved in. Before we unpack all the boxes, let's go on this trip. Let's decompress a little bit. Or after you do the boxes, you say, okay, hey, I'm gonna pack all these things up. We're gonna move it to the house. We're gonna get everything unloaded, and then we're gonna take this trip, and that's gonna be our big celebration. So the motivation to that, how to get everything packed up and out of the house and into the new one, is take those items you no longer believe in or have value of. Really, bro? You're gonna die, fly. Take those items that no longer serve its purpose and give it new purpose. Sell them. Create a vacation right after you accomplish everything. That's the motivator. There you go. Taha says, there is this girl that I like, but I'm not sure how to tell her. Any tips? Yeah. Absolutely. First one, and this should give you the confidence. The confidence is if you don't tell her, somebody else will. Do you want to be the person who tells her, gets her mind thinking? Because that's what happens when we tell a girl that we like them. They now have that choice. It's in their, the ball is now on their court, or in their court. You tell a girl how you feel about her, and now she gets to determine if she feels that way, would feel that way, could feel that way. You're at a point where the worst thing she can say is no. And guess what? It's better to know than to not know. Because if you don't know, you're going to keep being that friend until she finally tells you, like, I'm not interested, I'm with somebody else. Or you go ahead and you ask her up front. She tells you yes, and you start that relationship. Don't give somebody else a chance. If you like this girl, you're doing yourself disservice and her disservice by not letting her know. I have a belief that when you let a girl know how you feel, she is then going to question. She'd be like, even if it was never on her mind before, okay? She is now has the ability to think in her brain and say, could it be, would it be, should it be? And you're going to get an answer. She might even tell you right then and there, or she might wait a little bit because she has to think on it. But I believe it. I believe it. Let's get this locked in. Cool. All right. All right, bet, JJ. Chantel says, thanks, Smasher. We actually decided not to go for the house. We looked around it today, and it felt like it wasn't for us. Perfect. Cool. I love that. If it's not something you vibe with, there's going to be the next one for you. You have to have, once again, with that sentimental value with those items, and I misunderstood your question because I thought that this was something that, like, okay, I want this house, but I'm nervous about making the move. So thank you for giving me a little bit more context. If you don't have that same sentimental value of like, yo, I could really see myself in this house. I could see myself in this house for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, whatever it may be. If you don't get that feeling, don't go for it. Just wait out till the next one. You got time. This is a new chapter for you. Take it slow. Buying a house is a big, big choice. Buying a house is a big, big, big choice. Taking your time on something so important is There we go. There we go. Thank you so much, Tracy. Thank you, SM. Ow, ow. It's a big choice. Take your time. Make sure it's exactly what you want. You're going to be there for a while. Before you buy a house, make sure you explore the neighborhood, because this house could be everything, but the neighborhood you may not like. You might find out that the neighborhood isn't what you're wanting. So make sure that it's not just the house, that you're looking around and you're exploring the area around you too. Here we go. Taha says, thank you so much. You're welcome. Let me know how it goes. All right, next question is, I'm scared to tell my family I want to switch careers, but they're proud of me in my current job, and I don't want to disappoint them. Any advice? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. They're proud of the first choice you made, right? They're proud of the career you chose. They're proud of where you're headed and what you're doing right now. What makes you think that they're not going to be proud of you wanting to be happy, of you wanting to chase more, of you finding something that you truly love and enjoy? And let's say they are disappointed. Sometimes they are. Sometimes they can't see what's planted inside of us. They can't see that vision that we see, and that's okay. There's a generational gap there. Sometimes generational gaps have a toll on what we believe and what we think we should do. Our parents say, hey, this is what you need to do because this is how I was raised. Well, guess what? Sometimes that has to change. Sometimes we're born with a vision that's just so strong we have to chase it. And if they're going to be upset at you for leaving somewhere where you're not happy, versus going somewhere where you are going to be happy, I don't really think that's the case. Because once they see you succeed in what you want to do, and once they see how happy you are doing what you're going to do, you're going to get a different response. Sometimes individuals are born into a family that says you can only do this and you can only go in this direction. Cool. You decide to go that way. You decide to follow what your family says and what they want, but you're unhappy. That's going to affect you in the long run. Your happiness, at least from a father's perspective, is the ultimate thing that I want for my children. And sometimes, once again, we're born into families that say this is what it is and this is how you should do it. Well, if you follow that path, you can then say, hey, I followed that path. I did what you asked me to do, and now it's my turn to do what I want to do. I listened to you, Mom and Dad. I listened to you 100%. And now I want to listen to my soul and my heart. It's not wrong. Position it like that. I listened to you. I respected your decision. I followed what you wanted me to do. And now I'm ready to go on my own. I'm ready to follow my own chapter. I'm ready to go through those wins and failures and learn from the experience. When I was young, my family said I would never make money from gaming, that it was a waste of time, that I shouldn't be doing it. I've gotten told over the years 1 billion times over by many different types of people that I'm not going to succeed. And that is my fuel, beyond so much more, because I have a vision and a dream and a passion, and my vision, dreams, and passions are my goal. However, I'm going to show every single one of them that they're wrong. And this is your opportunity to not be on your deathbed and say, well, what if? What if I just did? Don't do that to yourself. Regret, having a grudge towards somebody because you didn't follow your dreams and you're now old and you're like, if I only listened to myself versus listened to my family, I'd be in a different position right now. I'd be happy. Don't let that happen. Don't be that person. Follow with what you want to do. I believe in you. And I'm excited to find out what path you want to take. And yeah, you're going to learn some stuff. I urge you that when you go on that path that you're about to go on, find the successful people in that industry or wherever your passion lies. Take advice from them because they've been doing it for a while. Learn from their mistakes so you don't have to follow them. Learn from their successes so you can go on the same success path, but in your way, doing it in your way. Don't let somebody control you. You control you. You control the outcome. You can't blame them at the end of your life and say, you know what? I followed with what you said. No, we all have a choice. We can follow with what we want. It's just sometimes we're going to have to disappoint people in order to do it. And that's okay. I've disappointed many, many people in my life. For good reason. Because I believe in myself and I believe my passion. And I believe I'm here to make an impact in billions of lives. And I am. If I would have gave up then, we would not be sitting here right now and me helping you guys in whatever way I can. Awesome. I hope that helps. How can it be? I see you, bro. I see you. He says, Smasher, how do I break a bad habit? Replace it with a good habit. Be willing to. Look inside yourself and what is this habit? What is this habit that I like to do? What vice is this that I like to do? And then figure out, do I truly want to make this change? If the answer is yes, dig deep and find out solutions on how to break that. The biggest thing is in your brain. The biggest thing is to say, I'm ready. I'm ready to change. I'm ready for new habits. I'm ready to make a difference. I have vices, guys, and I've broken so many. There we go. Sammy, smashing that like button. Let's go. I've had vices in my past, guys, and I broke them. I'm going through a vice right now that I'm working on breaking. What is that? I'll be straightforward with you guys. Straightforward. Mine's lust. I am working on myself. So that way I have just one woman. I love a fairy tale. And I want just one woman. And I want to make her feel the world and give her the world. But if I'm out here thinking about multiple women or thinking about lustful thoughts, then I am not directing that energy and directing that love towards her. That's my vice. And I'm internally working on that. And I'm excited to make the changes. I had other habits, guys. No, I'm not a drinker. I'm not a drinker. I did smoke. I did smoke MJ, guys. And I broke that vice. It's not for me. I'm cool with it. I'm a social, I'm down with social. That's cool with me. But making it something that is over and over and over, day upon day upon day, letting it control you, thinking about when am I going to do this next, that controls you. And I like control over myself. I don't like anybody controlling me or anything. So how do you break those bad habits? By wanting to break those habits. Really, truly. If you truly want to be a better you, if that's what you're looking for, which is what I do every day. I am not the version I am yesterday. Replace those bad habits with new habits. If you have trouble with eating, or you like to eat because you're bored, then once you realize that I'm getting bored, go outside, go take a walk. Replace the eating with a workout. Replace the eating with maybe drinking some water. Replace the eating with some push-ups. Replace the eating with a nice walk, fresh air. Replace the eating with some yoga. Replace it with something that's good. We're all going to have vices. It's which ones are you going to choose, good or bad? And thankfully, I am such a strong-headed individual, and I'm one of those people who just don't give up. When I set my mind to something, I do it. Take yourself seriously. If you say something, be serious about it. That's how you're going to get over it. In addition, it takes 31 days to make a habit and 31 days to break a habit. Give yourself 31 days and see if you can make that change. I believe in you. I know I can do it, and I know you can do it. We all have our vices. It's which ones do you want, the good or the bad? Don't let them control you. You control them. This reality is a beautiful reality when you just think about it for a second and figure out how you can make it better. If you're trying to escape the reality all the time, well, guess what's going to happen? More vices that come up, that's going to help you escape reality. Whether you're drinking, whether you're doing drugs. Individuals who tend to do those, and it's not every case, is because they're wanting to escape reality. And that's not every case. But in most cases it is. Take a second of gratitude. Be grateful where you currently are, what you currently have, and your state of being. The more grateful you are, the easier it is to stay here. Okay? Great question. I'm ready for the next one. Bernard, welcome. Bernard, I hope you feel better. Thank you, 6'7" kid. I hope you have a good one. Sammy says, I can't find my vape again. See, I understand that. It used to be one of my vices, guys. I like to smoke. That's what I used to like to do. I'm a social smoker now, and I don't do it often. Just like drinking. XO smashing that follow button. Welcome to the Smashers. Boom, baby. Ow, ow. Just with drinking. I drink maybe 2-3 times out of the year. Barely. I don't drink to get drunk either. It's more of a casual thing. I'll have one drink, sit at the bar with my friends, and sip. I'll usually sip on some tequila, some Don Julio, and I'll just chill there. I don't drink to get drunk. I'm not trying to escape. I'm just having fun. Just don't let it control you. All right, next question. I got 15 minutes, my friends. Or I can tell you guys, we can either go through a question or I can tell you guys how I saved somebody yesterday. Which one would you guys like? A question or a story on how I saved someone? All right, Benji, send it, bro. Send it, mate. Both. Just go quick in question. Okay. Mirren says, yo, what up? The story's kind of long. All right, while we wait on the question, because I don't know what Benji's doing. He's anonymous right now. While we wait on the question, I'll go ahead and tell the story. I went to my son's soccer games yesterday. There we go. Ooh. Final question. Okay, so we get to the final question, then I'll tell it. How about that? There we go. Because I want you guys to get your questions out first before I tell a story. Here it is. Final question. I want to start live streaming, but I keep procrastinating. Excuse me. I want to live streaming, but I keep procrastinating because I'm scared my setup isn't good enough. How do I get past this? This is a great question, guys. Great question. I had the same thing. When I first started streaming, I was streaming from a PlayStation. That sounded like a jet. My camera that I was using was a PlayStation camera that I duct taped to the wall to get an angle. I didn't have a streaming room. I didn't have a streaming area. I didn't have a mic. The mic I had was just on my headset, and you couldn't hear anything. It was crappy. You could only hear the jet PS4. So I didn't have a mic. One that could at least hear me. It could only hear the jet from the PS4. The PS4 was loud, obnoxious. Please, camera, don't do that. Okay. Let's get it going. It's acting up. Why you gotta do that, bro? Hang on, y'all. There we go. All right. So when I started streaming, I was using a PS4. It sounded like a jet. I had a headset that didn't work. It could only hear the jet. My camera I was using was a PS4 camera that I duct taped to the wall. I didn't have a streaming room or a streaming setup. So I sat in the living room beneath a couch with the couch behind me, and I was leaning against it with my legs crossed and the sun beaming into the area. So you couldn't really see me. It was a bad angle, but I had an angle. I did not have the best setup by any means. I worked up to it. People love to follow your journey. As a raise of hands, say I in the chat if you guys would love to follow my journey and watch my success versus me already being successful. If I was already successful, would it be more tangible for you? Would you be more connected to me? Or would you be more connected to me if you see my journey and my progress and my successes and my failures and my wins and my losses and the buildup of each equipment? I just got a new mic. What? Let's go. You guys help me get a new mic. I just got a new PlayStation. My PlayStation doesn't sound like a jet anymore. The next thing we're going for is a PC. Who's with me? Who wants to see me get a PC? Rile them up. It's more tangible for individuals to see your journey, not to have a professional setup. And if you're just starting out anyways, you need to show consistency before you go out and spend a lot of money on equipment. You need to show and prove to yourself that you can do it for an allotted amount of time. And if you get through that, then invest in yourself. Then invest in that equipment. You're going to spend thousands of dollars on equipment and you may not even be consistent. Then you just spent all that money for nothing. Show the consistency first. Allow people to be there for your journey because they're going to love you more that you allowed them to see what other people won't. It's a scary thing to just jump into something. I understand that. Especially if you don't feel confident in what you're currently using. But I can tell you, you can use a cell phone. A cell phone has up to 4K in most cases, but if it doesn't, it has 1080p. And a lot of systems here only require 10. A lot of platforms only accept 1080p. A lot of times you can't even put a 4K video out there. Now that's going to be changing, of course. But you guys are going to be more connected to seeing somebody upgrade their equipment than them to have the biggest production in the world. Here's an example. Mr. Beast just announced a video yesterday. It was a 10-year video where he recorded himself 10 years ago talking to his future self. I love that because I do that. He was talking to himself. And he said, I really hope I have 1 million followers by the time 10 years comes. And if it doesn't, I'm going to look like a fool or whatever it may be. But I'm way more tangible to Mr. Beast's journey because of where he came from and how hard he worked towards it. I have way more empathy and compassion for individuals who had to work for it versus having it handed to them. There's so many stories that are stuck in my head from individuals who had to work for it. Jim Carrey, he had to go and drive in a car every single night and imagine himself driving a really nice car up to a really nice house. He drove in the really nice neighborhood and imagined that one of these houses were his, and he unlocks that door and that's his home. I do that. I drive in my current Tahoe. I have a Tahoe, guys. And it is an old one. And it's beat up. But every time I drive this Tahoe, you know what I think? I'm driving a Cybertruck. I'm imagining myself driving a Cybertruck because that's what I want more than anything as far as materialistic. I'm a very frugal person, but there are some things that I really enjoy. I like tech, and a Cybertruck has a lot of tech to it and safety. So I do the same thing. I imagine my future self having these things, but in order for my future self to have those things, I need to make sure that my past self, my current self, is doing all the work to get there. And it's inevitable that it's going to happen. I imagine that my houses have bunkers in them. Not because I'll need it, just because I want it. You guys are going to be way more tangible to my journey versus me just saying, hey, I have 1 million plus followers. I have $1 million plus. I have a multi-million-dollar home that has a bunker in it. I already drive a Cybertruck. No. You're just like, oh, those are cool things. Cool. But you're going to be way more invested the moment I'm like, yo, I'm no longer driving that Tahoe, guys. Because you guys all supported me. Guess what? Now I get that Cybertruck. Everybody who's here right now, you guys can help me. How can you help me? I am literally only $2,000, not $2,000, 2,000 views on Snapchat away from being monetized. I am hitting monetization tonight. Tonight, I'm hitting monetization on Snapchat. I have almost 1 million views on Snapchat. I'm going to be there tonight. And I will be monetized on Snapchat tomorrow. You guys are here for that journey. You guys are here to see, oh snap, he wasn't monetized before. Now look at him. Snapchat. I'm monetized on Facebook. That just happened like a couple weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. I'm monetized on TikTok now. My Snap name is Epic Smasher. Ben, if you can put it in the chat. You guys could help me. But you would be more tangible to being something. You'd be more tangible to be like, oh, I can actually help this guy and I don't got to give him money. I just give them some views. Cool. Now you're invested. I love that. Okay? So don't be scared. Because your future self is going to thank you. Your future self is going to thank you for putting in that work when you didn't have that equipment. The people watching you are going to be inspired by your journey. They're going to be like, you started off here. You didn't have everything, dude. My current situation, guys, is I'm living in the basement of my friend's house in a room. I am driving a Tahoe that's super old. In this moment, I don't have much dollars to my name. Let's show it. You know what? Just for tangibility, guys. Okay? In this moment, I'm going to show you. It's needed. You guys need to know. Why? It's not because I'm embarrassed. I'm not embarrassed. I know where my journey's heading. I know what I'm doing. I'm not successful overnight. I know where I'm going to be. But I'm not going to be there unless myself currently right now makes the choices to be there. You guys aren't going to believe it. Okay? When you see this, you won't believe it. Okay? Look at my bank account. What does that say? What does that say, y'all? In the chat. Everybody in the chat. What does that say? 67 cents to my name. Right now, in this very moment, I can't go buy a candy bar. I can't go buy a water. I can't go get gas. 6-7. That's right, 6-7. 67 cents to my name, you guys. But guess what? I'm going to be monetized on Snapchat tomorrow. I'm monetized on Facebook right now. Guess what I did with my money from Facebook? My money that I got from Facebook, my first check from Facebook, which was like $13, I ended up reinvesting that into the stream. My money that I get, I reinvest it back into the stream, guys. A couple months ago, Team Water, the month of August, guess what? That month, I dedicated all of my proceeds, all of my money from streaming to go into Team Water. Guess who lost his job in August? I did. And guess who still stayed committed to what I said? I did. I said I am going to donate all of my money that I earn in streaming to Team Water. And I did. And I didn't have a job. I lost my job in that moment. These are things that you guys don't know. But now you do. Do you feel more tangible to me now knowing my journey and where I'm currently at and where I'm going to be? Say I in the chat. If I don't share this, you'd never know. You'd just be like, this guy's successful. Yeah, I'm surely going to be there. I created an ebook that is going to be released in 2 days. In 2 days, I release an ebook that I have tons of knowledge to help and guide you guys. So that way you guys can be monetized. So that way you guys can start your journeys and your passions and your dreams. The way I show up here is absolutely amazing, and I want you guys to show up that way for yourself. I wholeheartedly believe in this ebook, and I wholeheartedly believe that it's going to be somebody's lifeline. I think 1% is going to take all the knowledge from it and implement it. And I think you can be that 1%. You just have to believe and you have to implement. Tracy says, do you get the money when I donate likes, subs, and stuff? I'll tell you guys the truth. One, I reinvest. I reinvest that money. That's the first thing. Second thing is, On platforms like these, you get 50% of those earnings. Twitch, 50%. They get 50%. Right off rip, you put all that work in, they made a platform, which is amazing, and I'm thankful and I'm grateful. But they take 50% of your earnings. Well, guess what? I'm going to show you guys, and I'm going to teach you how to get 100% of your earnings. How do you do that? By creating a stand store. Stand store, right now, I technically have a code for somebody if possible. If somebody's trying to follow their dreams and their journey. It typically costs $300. But this stand store gives you 100% of the proceeds for a year from the code that I currently have and I'm using. So if you guys donate to Stand Store is right down below, exclamation point store. Ben just put it in the chat. I'll actually copy it. If you guys type exclamation point store, if you guys go ahead and donate to Stand Store, you can extend the stream. You can gift right from Stand Store. You can donate from Stand Store. You can buy courses or my ebook when it comes out. You can buy coaching with me. And 100% of those proceeds go to me. I'm making that switch up. I want to take an opportunity and allow myself to get ahead of the game and not have to have 50% taken. So I urge you guys, when you guys donate, when you guys gift anybody, that you guys do it from the Stand Store. Because when you do it from the Stand Store, I'll get 100%. And what do I do with my earnings? I typically, in most cases, invest it back into the stream. Whether it's equipment, whether it's gifting, and I can't say that because unfortunately TikTok will ban me. But whether it's blessing people, whether it's making sure that we are supporting a cause or a charity, I'm here to make an impact, and I'm going to. But I urge you guys, if you are going to gift or bless, if you guys are going to make sure that if you guys are going to bless somebody else with a Legendary Smasher subscription, if you are going to donate, that you guys do it from the Stand Store. Not that you have to. You absolutely don't have to. I'm not saying don't. What I'm saying is it is more beneficial if you do. But I will accept everything. Blessings are blessings, and I'm grateful. I love all you guys. Now let me tell this story real quick. About last night when I saved an individual. God was on my mind heavy. I was at my son's soccer games, and he had 3 of them yesterday. And my youngest son, and even the day before, my kids, they said, "Hey, Dad, can we stay with you?" And it's not my weekend. It's their mother's weekend. Their mom allowed them to stay with me on Saturday. Then yesterday, they asked the same thing. "Hey, Dad, can we stay with you?" And I'm like, "Of course, we just have to ask your mom." Their mom wants more time with them. So she said, "Hey, I would like more time with them. Not tonight." And that's okay. And my youngest didn't really care for that at the moment. He was sad. He was very sad. And throughout that day, there was 3 times where I said, I need to get gas for the car. 3 times where I was like, I need to get gas, and I didn't. And at the end of the soccer game, when I'm going back and forth with my son and I'm buckling him up and he's given every reason as to why he wants to come with me and wants to spend the night, and I have to give that deep down, I'm super sad because I ultimately want to spend every moment with my kids. And it hurts me that when they want to come with me, they can't. It took me probably a half hour before we could actually leave. And I start heading home. And as I'm heading home, I'm passing their house. And I'm like, I'll go to a specific gas station. There's a gas station that my mother-in-law always tells me to go to. So I'm like, I need gas. I said it 3 times today. I should go ahead and get it now. So I pull in the gas station. I go in, I pay for gas. And I come out and I'm pumping gas. And all of a sudden, I hear this song. If you guys can guess the song, that would be cool. It's by Teddy Swims. I'll give you that. I'll give you guys 20 seconds or so. It's by Teddy Swims, and I sing it all the time. Can you guys get it? Well, I hear this song, and it's by Teddy Swims. It's called Lose Control. Close. That was close. It's by Teddy Swims, and it's called Lose Control. And this immediately perks my ears up because I love this song. And it's been following me around for over a year and a half, maybe 2 years, whenever it came out. And it perks my ears. I'm like, oh, I love this song. And I turn around, and it's this guy on a motorcycle. He's not wearing a helmet. And instantly, I hear a voice in my head. It was God in my eyes. Okay? And God's telling me, hey, the last time you had a friend and you were at a party and there was drinking, this friend was riding a motorcycle and he didn't wear a helmet, and you told him 3 times throughout 3 different parties to wear a helmet, that you care about him and that you want his life to be extended, and he said no. And on the 3rd time, he left, not wearing a helmet, ends up crashing and dying. It affected me because I felt like I could potentially have saved him. Well, in this moment, God was telling me, yo, hey, bring it up. Bring it up in some way, shape, or form. And I was like, yo, hey, man, like, first off, great music, dude. Cool bike. He's like, huh? And I'm like, yeah, cool bike, bro. You got some cool hair, too. He had some really cool hair, like, dope-looking dude. You know, nice, cool looking hair. I'm like, dude, you got some cool hair. Like, why aren't you wearing a helmet, man? He's like, I just like it waving, you know, like it going in the wind. I'm like, understandable. But if you wear a helmet, you're going to be able to have it go in the wind a lot longer. And at this point, he's walking up to me, and I can see him stumbling a little bit. I see him stumbling. And God in my head was like, yo, he's drunk. Stick with him. Stick with him for a second. He's drunk. And he comes up to me, he's like, yo, you know, follow me into the store, man. Follow me into the store. You want a drink? And I'm like, no, like, I don't want a drink. Like, I'm good, bro. And God was just telling me, like, he might fall. He might fall. He might even hit his head on a shelf or something. Like, go in, follow him. So I go in with him. I'm having a conversation, you know, revving him up on the way in, you know, just being like, yeah, you cool dude, all the good stuff, right? I was like, he looks cool. He's got a nice leather jacket on for his, you know, biker, you know, what would you call that? Biker gang, not biker gang, but like, you know, his affiliates, you know, he's in a biker crew. He's in a bike crew. I'm like, yo, that's a dope jacket, man. He's like, thanks. Yeah, there you go, Young Nugs crew. So he has a leather jacket for his biker club. There you go. That's a good one. There it is. And so I'm like, that's a nice jacket, bro. He's like, thanks, man. And he's like, he tries to, like, you know, overhand give me a strong handshake. And I give him a strong handshake back. He's like, man, you tough. You ever do arm wrestling? I'm like, bro, I got way other things that I'm good at. I don't, you know, that's not my focus. But I'm a very disciplined individual, and I have a long past of fighting. I used to get jumped between 2 to 5 people at a time. So I have a very, very wide experience when it comes to fighting. Street fighting, nothing crazy, y'all. And so, you know, he's just like this, and then he's trying to do this and all the things, you know. And he's like, I used to wrestle. And, you know, I'm joking back with him back and forth. And he's like, look at my ears. And there's no colic, you know, or there's no cauliflower ears. And I'm like, what, bro? Like, there's no cauliflower, you know? And I'm just joking with him back and forth. We're vibing. And so he gets a drink. And it was Don Julio tequila. And I'm like, bro, whenever I go out and I have a drink with the boys, that's what I get too. He's like, did we just become best friends? And I'm like, we just might have, and I'm joking with him. He's like, you want one? I'm like, no, bro. Like, I'm good. I just came in here to make sure you're good. And so I'm like, I got to actually go check on the gas. Like, let's head out. So I'm like a little bit in front of him, but also like looking back to make sure this guy's not falling. So I'm heading out. I see the gas tank. Gas tank's good. I'm watching him. Everything's good. He comes up to me. I'm just getting the gas tank out, or getting the hose out. And he starts wanting to wrestle around, And I have a wide experience. So like we're wrestling around a little bit, but jokingly around, And like I'm manhandling him a bit. He's a tough dude. He's a tough dude. Like he's a bigger dude and he's tough. But I'm manhandling him. He's a little wasted, so I have to make sure he doesn't fall and hit his head, Because he's ultimately like, you got to know the energy. When somebody's drunk and they're just wanting to wrestle around, you got to know the energy, right? So I knew the energy. And so he's like wrestling and, trying to wrestle around a bit. And he's standing with his legs like kind of sprawled out. I'm like, bro, not to stand like that. If you stand like that, you'll fall. He's like, no, I won't. And I'm like, boom. And he goes to fall and he's falling. And I grab his head so his head doesn't hit the ground, And he's like, man, like just talking all this stuff, but in a good way. We're boys. We're boys at this point. And so he just continues this on for about 35 minutes. I know he's drunk, so I'm just trying to be there for him, but also keep things under control. He's inevitably going to want to wrestle or fight with somebody. At least it's with me, because I know I can handle myself, and I know that I'm not trying to hurt him, and I know I can disarm in any way, shape, or form. So it gets about 25, 30 minutes or so, and he's like trying to go to, we're like trying to go to his bike, etc. And I'm like, bro, you really shouldn't be riding your bike. And he like comes back at me, tries to wrestle, and I grab his hand and I twist it behind him in a way, kind of just like this, to where you can get control, arm control. So I have arm control and I get him towards on the other side of his bike. I'm like, bro, you shouldn't be riding your bike. Like, do you need a ride? If you need a ride, I'll get your ride. He was super wasted. And the only thought that's going through my head the whole time is God. God's telling me, do not let him ride. If he rides off, he's either going to die or end up in jail or end up killing somebody. And that just kept happening in my head. So I'm like, yo, the hose I didn't get a chance to put the hose up because he wanted to wrestle around. So I was like, yo, let me just grab the hose real quick. Let me put it up. Like, if you need a ride, bro, I'm down to give you a ride. If you need us to call somebody to make sure that they pick up the bike, like, let's do that. And it's nighttime at this time. It's like 9:30 at night, guys. And he gets on his bike. And before I turn around, he drops his bike. And this is an Ultra Glide Classic. Like, this thing weighs between 800 and 1,000 pounds. You guys correct me if I'm wrong, but it does. And his ankle is stuck underneath it. And I'm like, bro. So I go over there and I post up with my back against the bike and I lift that bike up. And after I lift that bike, I'm like, yo, you got to like get your foot from out underneath there. And he's like kind of like wobbling it out. I'm like, dude, you are not riding. I'm not going to let you ride. He's like, well, come over here, just press this button. And I thought he was telling me to like, shut it down, because he had it going. And I was like, I go over to the other side and he wants me to put it in first gear. And the thing that kept going in my head is absolutely not. You let this guy go, he's going to die, he's going to kill somebody, or he's going to end up in jail. But the most cases, he's going to die. And I said, I will absolutely not. What I will do is I'll put that kickstand down. And I put that kickstand down. And right when I put that kickstand down and I lean it this way, he comes fumbling off and he falls and I grab him. And then I grab him under his arms and I'm dragging him like you would if somebody's getting drug out of a fire. And I'm dragging him. And I post him up against the gas tank. Not the gas tank, but the gas pump. And I post him up there and I said, you are absolutely not driving. Like, where's your phone? Like, I'm going to call somebody or you're going to get a ride. I was like, I do not want you to go to jail. Like, I've been there, bro. It's not good. You do not need to be there. And as I'm pulling him and set him up there and I say this, another biker comes around. He's like, hey, you know him? And I'm like, no, I don't know him at all. But I want to help the guy. I think, if he leaves right now, he's going to end up dying. or in jail, or worse, which all of them is worse, but end up hurting somebody else and then have that on his conscience. And the guy's like, I know him. I know him from Facebook. Like, I've seen him on Facebook. And I'm like, oh, well, cool. Like, come on, man. Like, you know him more than I do. Like, come on. Like, get somebody on the line some way, shape, or form. Because he's like, I know his biker crew, with the biker club. And I'm like, all right, cool. Like, let's get this guy, let's make sure that he's good and let's call him up. So we ended up picking him up. I have him over one of my shoulders. He has him over the other shoulder. And this guy's swinging in between us like a kid would. You have their arms on their hands and they're just swinging. Well, this case, he's over our shoulders on each side and he's just swinging. We're like, yo, put your feet down, walk with us. He's like, I can't. And I have so much compassion and empathy for this guy because I know how it feels. Not having somebody being able to help you in those situations. I knew he was going through some trauma. I knew something was deeper going down, that he didn't want to face that reality. And I was like, God put me in this place for a reason, to protect you, to make sure that you're not going out, hurting yourself, hurting somebody else, or ending up in jail. So we get him into this gas station, all the gas station crew, and there's a restaurant next door to it. And we set him in the restaurant area, and I got my hand on his shoulder because he's just wanting to get up. And every time he would get up, I would just kick the feet out from underneath him so that way he couldn't get up. And the other guy, he's a big dude. He's a bald big dude too. And he has him on the other side. And he's like, yo, you're not getting up, man. You're not getting up. And the other dude had his daughter with him. So you can imagine from a parental side is you now have your kid in a situation that could be dangerous. So he's like, yo, step to the side. I don't want to have to worry about you as well. And we're both being as super patient as we can. This guy's a good dude. He's just going through something. And so he's making calls as I'm holding him down, and he's holding him down. He's trying to make calls, get people there. About 30 minutes in, as these gas station and restaurant employees keep going around us like, is everything okay? We're like, we got him. Just don't call anybody. Just don't call the police. We got him. We're going to get him picked up. We're going to get somebody to pick him up. So about 30 minutes later, we end up getting somebody from his crew to show up. And he's like, I was wondering where he was. He didn't show up to church this morning because when we were wrestling around, he says, you want to fight? And I said, man, it's not smart for you. He said, smart for me? I said, yeah, it's not smart for you, bro. I don't suggest that. He's like, oh, well, I got a crew. And I was like, I understand that, but I have God. God's with me. He's with me, and I'm telling you, we're not going to do that. I'm going to make sure of it. And when the guy said, hey, he didn't show up to church today, it made me feel that exactly why I was there. I was there for a reason. I was the only person who could have gotten him to that situation and not knocked him out. Not fought him. Not knocked him out. Not get him more hurt than what he already is, which is trauma. And then the other gentleman who shows up, what a patient, awesome dude. And I appreciated all of his help because we got him inside. We got it to where his crew showed up, one of them. And one of his crew members called his aunt/dad. And they ended up showing up. But before they did, we got him into the crew member's truck. And as we're getting him in, his legs are hanging out. So I get in the truck and I pull his legs back and shut the door. So that way he can, his legs aren't getting stuck. And so they shut it from the outside. I'm shutting it from the inside, pulling his feet back. Every single person there was to help this guy. To save his life. Because if he would have went, he would have died. He would have killed somebody, or he would have went to jail. But in most cases, he would have died. His dad shows up extremely thankful. The restaurant/gas station, thankfully they didn't call anybody, and there's a little scratches on the wall. And they're like, hey, what do we do about this? And the guy who showed up is like, hey, we're going to take care of it. Don't you worry. And I just pulled money out of my pocket. I'm like, hey, here you go. And they're like, no, it's okay. The guy next to me says, hey, it's okay. We'll take care of it. I'm like, awesome. No big deal. We can make it happen. And when his dad shows up and his aunt shows up, we ended up taking him out of the truck into their car. Another crew member took his motorcycle. And everything was fine. But if I wasn't there, and if the gentleman who was next to me who pulled up on the bike wasn't there, and the crew member who showed up wasn't there, and his family members weren't there, it could have been a dangerous situation. And I am blessed that God didn't allow me to fill up gas until that moment. That God led me on that path to go to that specific gas station at that time. I was supposed to be at home meal prepping. I meal prepped after that happened. I stayed up till 2:30 in the morning. I was so thankful and grateful that God put me in that position that I was capable of making sure that this gentleman was okay. And then somebody shows up and we're able to do this together. Protect a soul. Now, I'm not saying go out there and do that, guys. I'm not saying put yourself in harm's way. If you know somebody needs help, and I'm not saying you women, okay? I'm not saying you women. You women stay out of harm's way. And I'm not saying you men go out there and try to find a way for you to be a superhero of any sorts of way. But if you can genuinely help somebody, help someone. For God's people is all people. All shapes, sizes, colors, religions. God's people is all people, and when you help them, you help God. And I am extremely blessed that God gave me that moment to help that man. So that's the story. I love you guys. I got to jump off here. I got to go pick up my kids. I love you guys so much. And I want the ultimate best for every single one of you guys. And what I pray today is that you guys also pray with me. Pray for these souls. Pray for anybody who's going through something. Okay? Allow them to make it through the day and not escape reality to where they could affect their reality. Marinera says, guardian angels come in all shapes and forms. You saved him. Divine timing, you were meant to be there. Exactly. Tracy says, amen. Is he alive? Yes, I believe he is. He was under great care after we left, or as we were leaving. He went off with his family. Keanu says, God is always with you, always with you. You got to have the ultimate faith that he puts you in situations that you're prepped for. He puts you through situations so you can be prepped for those moments. I love you guys. I got to go. Marinera says, I very much so believe he will never forget that interaction. I hope. And I hope one day I run back into him and he's a way, way better version of himself. I still think he's a cool dude. He was one cool dude. And I knew how to match his energy in those moments. And we very well could have been best friends. I want to treat everyone like they're my best friend. I love you guys. Have a great night. I'll catch you on the flip side. See you tomorrow, 6 p.m. EST. Let's go